Hi, and welcome to Something to Talk About. I'm Linda McNamee, and for the next hour, as you can see from our introduction, we're going to talk about Burlington's Culture Fest. And you're probably sitting there going, wait a minute, Burlington doesn't have a Culture Fest yet. So we're going to find out more about that shortly. But before I begin, I would like to invite you, if you have a suggestion for a future topic or a question for my wonderful guests, whom you will meet momentarily, you can always email me at talk@bcattv.org. No phone number because we are no longer live. Well, we are live, but we're unable to take phone calls. But I would like to thank the crew for this evening. Chris Flaherty, who is one of the staff members here, makes sure that us volunteers keep everything running smoothly. So thank you, Chris. I would also like to thank my volunteers for this evening, Christina Nikitas, Evan Peckham, and Evan McNamee. So thank you all for giving up your Wednesday evenings to come hang out at BCAT and help with the show, and also get a first-hand look at Burlington's Culture Fest. There is no Daddy Date Night tonight because Daddy's dates are here. So now I would like to introduce my wonderful guests for this evening, Gwyneth McNamee and Meghna Dinesh, who I think I realized on Monday I pronounced your last name wrong. How do you pronounce it?
People say it like Dinesh instead.
Dinesh. Okay. Yeah. Someday I will get that right before your graduation from med school. No. So
high school, not like the one that's happening in like 2 weeks or something.
Gwyneth and Meghna, thank you very much for joining me. I'm really excited, and as you guys know, because I've been working with you on your project, that I'm kind of learning, living vicariously through your experiences. You are Girl Scouts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you are working on your Silver Award.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm going to let you talk more about that in a moment. But first of all, other than the fact that you're 8th graders and Girl Scouts, and because everybody knows your uniform, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves? I know you, but you have to share it with my audience.
I know you.
What are some of your hobbies and kind of why you decided to become a Girl Scout?
Do you like to go first, Meghna, or do you want me to go first?
I don't know.
Fine, I'll go first.
You go first. You didn't have a choice joining Girl Scout. No, continue.
Not really. I really didn't have a choice. You were just kind of like, you're doing Girl Scouts.
And you said
and
only
like,
if you do it with me.
Exactly. And now you've been my leader since kindergarten, so I mean that kind of worked out.
It does.
But outside of Girl Scouts, like hobbies and stuff, I do photography. I run a small business with my photos, take photos, and I have a small business with that. And then I work at a daycare, and I like to write stories.
Fun.
Although, of course, you already knew all that because, you know.
It's nice to hear your perspective because a lot of times, parents think they know their children. And sometimes children actually surprise their parents. And like, what? You want what? So anyway, okay, Meghna, it's your turn.
I became a Girl Scout to become more confident in my personality and character. And some things I like to do are drawing, writing. I volunteer at the library sometimes.
Oh, cool.
And I like learning languages.
I didn't know you volunteered at the library. And English, Gwyneth reminds me that English is not your first language.
No, it's not.
Is it your second or?
It's my second language.
Second, okay. So when did you have to start learning English?
I moved here when I was 3, so obviously I had to start learning English then.
Okay, I thought you moved in you moved here in 5th grade, 4th grade, 5th grade?
In 3rd grade.
3rd grade.
3rd grade, wow, I'm way off. Okay.
She only joined Girl Scouts in 4th grade because like 3rd grade it was still like, the getting used to life in Massachusetts.
Okay. All right, this question's going to kind of surprise me. Maybe.
Oh boy.
What are your favorite parts about being a Girl Scout? Eating cookies. Selling cookies. Eating cookies. Eating the broken cookies. Smash. Oops. No, seriously, what do you like about Girl Scouts?
I think probably my favorite part of Girl Scouts is now that I'm older is being able to like reach out and help out with the younger girls that are just starting their Girl Scout journey or their journey as a Girl Scout, like the daisies and daisies are kindergartners, but
Kindergarten and first
the
grade.
kindergarten and first grade daisies, like they're just starting out, and it's like they have someone to look up to, and like they know that you know what you're doing, hopefully.
Because you got all the bling on
Because
the
I've got like the vest, and I'm older, and I have like
taller.
the older Girl Scout vest. So they're like, oh, this person knows what they're doing. And I've stated before that I love working with little children, so I like doing that.
Fun. Okay, what's your favorite part of Girl Scouts?
I like helping my community. It's like really an opportunity for me to know about where I'm living, who I'm affiliated with, and all that. And I kind of like that because it kind of lets me it lets me know more.
You got this, Meghna.
okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I talk like that all the time.
It lets me know more about where I'm living at, and it kind of opens new doors for me, like opportunities and meeting new people. So I
Cool.
kinda like that.
And not to like put words in your mouth, but I find it as a place where you get to explore things and you get to work on different badges and go different places and find out what you like, but also find out what you don't like. Like, I am never going to do fingerprinting ever. I don't know.
I'm not going rock climbing again. That was
Not
terrifying.
going. You actually did really well rock climbing.
Yeah, compared to the other girls. Well, then again, we were also in first grade.
Yeah, you were in first grade, but you know, it's
scaling up like
an
40-foot tall walls.
opportunity. So I think Meghna kind of touched upon this, but how do you think you've benefited from being in Girl Scouts? Like, I know you talked about being more confident, and you know, do you see that happening in your lives, whether it's school or in some of your extracurriculars?
Yeah, I feel like Girl Scouts has helped like with being more confident and like knowing you can do things and like things that not everybody else would want to do, and like being able and willing to take those risks and like push everybody else forward, or yeah, like kind of like
Pull everybody along.
Yeah.
You don't want to push, but no, I get
nudge
it.
them to.
You get to go out of your comfort zone, right? Like,
Yeah,
you
and
guys
sometimes
just
it's a
did 2 days
benefit.
ago.
Yeah, no, we did 2 days ago. That was terrifying.
Well, we will talk about that in a moment. I still want to kind of grill you guys on your whole Girl Scout experience. Out of everything that you've done so far as a Girl Scout, what do you think your favorite thing has been? Obviously not rock climbing, but
Then again, I was in first grade and we were like scaling 40-foot walls. It was
well, yeah,
terrifying.
no, I think they were probably taller than 40 feet, but
It was terrifying.
Okay.
I only went up 40 feet.
okay.
Like JC and Brooke went all the way to the top. And I was like, no.
Was there something that you guys have done as
God.
Girl Scouts that you really like? No. Okay, moving
You're
right on.
making me pick one. I don't want to pick
Yeah,
one.
same.
All right. 2, 3, whatever. What are some of the fun things
yeah.
that you've done that you've enjoyed doing?
Escape room.
Oh, escape room. That
Oh
was
my
so
gosh.
much fun. It was a disaster, but that was so much
Yeah,
fun.
like we
got
were with
locked
other
in the
troops
room.
too. It was very
Were
funny.
you in the museum heist one with me?
Yeah, I was. How did
and
you
we,
forget
we
about
like
that?
walked around the pole for like 40 minutes and the key was like on the pole and we were like, where did we go? And she's like, the key's right in front of you. And we're like, oh, my bad.
Oh wait, I wasn't with Anara. Never mind.
Yeah, but we
I-
were like
I-
trying to like figure out.
I was doing the
everything there.
casino thing.
Oh, okay. There was a
Yeah.
casino one in the.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know which one we were.
neither of you guys escaped. I had, you know.
Yeah,
No, we
we just
didn't.
asked for heads stuff.
Yeah, they ended up letting you out anyway. And I know Gwyneth has talked about, actually, I think both of you, how do you feel about being a role model, whether in your community or within Girl Scouts, and having other people look up to you and say, hey, that person's really confident?
Yeah, I like being able to like be a role model, especially in the Girl Scout setting, because like most girls, like, they get past elementary school and then they're like, oh, Girl Scouts is for, like, little kids. I don't want to do this anymore. Or they're like, this isn't fun. Like, I'm only going to do it for this year. And then they see, like, girls like us in basically high school over
Almost
here.
high school.
Almost high
Almost
school.
high
We
school.
have, like, 2 more weeks left.
2 more weeks.
More like 1.5.
Yes.
But, and then they see us and they're like, oh, like, I can keep doing this. And then they're just kind of like, I want to keep doing this.
Cool.
Because, like, I know people who are doing it.
Job security for me. Well,
Fair.
as your leader, you know, I think I remember
And
when
the
you
fact
guys.
that you work for Girl
Well,
Scouts.
yeah, but I think it was like at the end of kindergarten that one of the moms said, well, what's going to happen next year? Are we going to get a new leader? I'm like, not unless you want to. I'm with you guys for the duration.
Yeah. And
I
then
am looking
also-
forward to your high school graduation.
I also feel like after 5th grade, like, our whole troop just plummeted.
We did.
We
Well,
went from, like, 20 kids.
we didn't have 20, maybe
was,
like
like-
12.
We had the bunch of kids, and we just plummeted, and there was, like, 4 of us left or something.
But keep in mind, when you were in 5th grade,
that was before the world shut down.
oh, okay.
Because remember, like, the 4th to 5th grade, everyone just went off. Because it was, like, cheer and dance they had to
Yeah,
choose
I thought that
between.
was like 3rd to 4th grade. But anyway,
that.
yes, you know, you are right.
Like, elementary school, everybody just plummeted. And, like,
Girl Scouts, we,
Us.
you know, we lost a lot because of competitions and sports, and so I'm kind of really glad that you guys, you Girl Scouts, I shouldn't call you guys, that you've decided to stick around. And you know, I think we kind of mentioned this, but as you get older, you'll get to do more challenging things. Like you would not take a bunch of daisies to an escape room. That probably
I mean, you could try.
Yeah, we can
They
try.
wouldn't get
Like,
very
it's-
far, but you could try.
you could try.
They wouldn't get too far.
They'll find hints though.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause they're good at the hide and seeks.
Well, speaking of 5th grade, yes, I realize that the world shut down because of COVID, but the 2 of you and a couple other Girl Scouts in our troop managed to complete your Bronze Award. So let's talk about your Bronze Award project, and then we'll talk about what the Bronze and Silver and eventually Gold Awards, what they actually mean. So do you guys remember at all what you did for Bronze?
Kind of.
It's like awareness for recycling
And
Yeah.
then we, like, put it up in the library for a bit, and we each did, like, a poster board of, like, what you can recycle, how you can recycle it, like, stuff like that.
And what happens after your big green bin is emptied?
Yeah, because we had to meet with, like, Gretchen Carey, and we talked about all of that stuff. But
So-
I think that was, I don't really remember. 2020 was a disaster. Mom,
Yeah,
you
that's
know
true. You
that.
probably just blocked it out of your mind. But, you know, with the
We have
Bronze
the pin
Award,
to prove it. We have the
you
pin
do
to
have
prove
the
we did
bronze
it.
pin, which is
Proof that we did it.
proof that you did it. Absolutely. But with the Bronze Award, or with any of the awards, do you guys want to talk about what bronze, silver, and gold mean, or do you want me to, like,
You can do it.
Take
You're
over.
better versed in this.
because I've been doing it a lot more often than you have.
Exactly.
So the Bronze Award is meant for Girl Scout juniors, so 4th and 5th grade. Silver is for middle school, so 6th, 7th, or 8th. And then the Gold Award is high school. So either seniors or ambassadors. And yeah, there's stuff that you have to do in order to be eligible, but we don't have to go into that. But
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
we will. Well, you have to do it anyway, but I don't think we really need to talk about what a journey is. But so the silver, the Bronze Award, because you were younger, you needed a bigger support system, right? And feel free to interrupt me at any time. So the Bronze Award, or any of those awards, are a project in your community where you have to make positive change. You have to kind of solve a problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it needs to educate your community on a particular topic, so like the importance of recycling. It has to advocate or stand up and protect something. So you're protecting the environment. You're advocating. You're I don't know, how would you describe advocate? I'm
I
totally
don't
zoning it
know.
right now. So advocate, you have to stand up for something. And then with Girl Scouts, they want to have that change be a little more permanent. So they want it to have a sustainability factor. So it's not like one and done. Oh, well, we're done. People, okay, we did our presentation on recycling. Let's move on. Well, the whole point was to educate the community that there is life after that green bin leaves your front
driveway.
Exactly. So that's the Bronze Award, and you're allowed to work on it in a team. Like our whole troop worked on it because how old are you when you're in 5th grade? 10?
10 to 11.
Yeah,
10,
like 10,
11. That's a lot of responsibility to do by yourself. So you're working in a team and you kind of get to understand like how to be a leader, but also how to manage a group. Then when you get into middle school, you are now limited. Instead of like a whole group of people, you kind of have to do it just the two of you. But it still has that educate on a particular subject, advocate, so stand up for something, and be sustainable. So you're a little older now, you're smarter, you have more experience. So instead of having 6 people work on the project, it's just the two of you. Then gold is you're all by yourself. Well, you do have that support system. You're not like
But
flying.
we're the manager of it, essentially.
Right. You are the point person, so you oversee it. But it still has that educate, advocate, and sustainability factor. I can't talk. So,
Slow down.
with your silver award,
Yes.
what did you decide to do for a project?
We decided, well, originally decided
Well, it's
to do a culture fest for Burlington, but that fell through, so we're just going to do a culture night instead.
it's still the same thing
Yeah, it's essentially the
Yeah.
same thing. We just
It's
kind of tweaked a
just-
few things.
on a weeknight instead of on a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, tell me about this culture fest. What kind of cultures are you hoping to have represented?
Well, we're hoping to have represented just like like all the cultures of Burlington, like Indian, Pakistani, Chinese, Japanese, Portuguese, all those different cultures. I know I'm missing a ton, but whatever.
Well, I'm sure, but I know that we have talked about it before in working on your project. I think the schools at one point, the public schools, sent an email home to the parents saying that there are over 50 different languages
spoken in public
that are
schools.
spoken in the public schools. So like Meghna, and you had mentioned earlier that English is not your first language. So there are so many other students that are in the same situation or similar situation that you were many years ago.
Yep.
So what do you hope to accomplish? What is your educate factor, both of you,
Oh.
for not just all on Meghna?
What? You were talking to her. You
Well,
said
now I'm
it.
talking to both of you. So your silver award you are working on a culture fest. So what is the educate or the education component that you are hoping to provide?
We want to like spread the awareness about like the diversity of our town, because a lot of people here they come from different countries, they speak different languages, and we just want to like spread awareness about that, and hopefully some people might be more accepting of other cultures.
So kind of break down those stereotypes, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you know more about me, you would understand me better,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the education, the educate part. the advocate is kind of, who are you trying to help? You're trying to help the rest of the community, right?
Yeah.
So like maybe the marginalized or the lesser known cultures in town. And, you know, maybe you can speak a little more of this because English is not your first language. That I would never have guessed if she didn't tell me. If you don't have a good command of the language, you tend to be quiet and hide in the background. So people might not know about your experiences because you might be afraid to tell them. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're hoping to raise awareness so everybody can be on
The same page.
the same page, exactly.
Yeah.
So the sustainability factor, I know we haven't confirmed this yet, but what do you hope will happen next year?
Well, next year we're kind of hoping that the rec department, we are already partnering with them for this event, so we're hoping that they will want to like,
Continue the event.
yeah,
Yeah,
not really
okay.
take it over, but kind of like continue it and continue running it. Like, obviously we can still help them because we can like help them figure out vendors and stuff because like we started the event.
Well, you'll have a list
Yeah,
that
but
they can
they-
just take over the list.
But they can like run it and figure out the stuff with the Board of Health and the chief and all that stuff, so we don't have to do that all over again.
Exactly.
And
Excellent.
they get to go up in front of the select board.
So tell me about, you had to go in front of the select board. Do you have any idea why you needed to go in front of the select board?
Well,
It was not my way of abusing my children, okay? It really wasn't.
no, it wasn't that bad. It was just like terrifying.
It was.
It wasn't bad. It was terrifying.
But you did it, you're smiling about it.
Well, essentially, we just wanted to, in a way, fill them in on the loop. Blah.
Yes.
On what we're doing.
Yeah, because, like it's mostly mentioned, they're kind of like the town's version of our mayor,
Right.
except there's
They
5
are
of
town
them.
government.
They are the town mayor, except there's 5 of them.
Well, yeah.
So they're like the town
They're
mayor.
the executive branch. You were telling me you were learning about the different branches of government.
Yeah, they're
in
like
school.
that group. And
Okay.
they just, and we wanted to fill them in because like they approve all the different stuff, and we were hoping they would also help with, and they would have like contacts for us that we can reach out to, because they've probably known, like they know people around Burlington a
Right.
lot more than we do, like because they see them a lot more and they interact with them a lot more.
But because they are in charge of the town, you want to make sure that they know what's going
They know,
on
yeah, they
in
know what's going
their
on
town.
in the town.
Yeah.
So, yes, other than it being totally terrifying, how do you think it went?
I think it went pretty good. Sorry,
Yes,
I just
and-
like cut you off.
Wow.
You may go
Oh,
now.
Yeah. Other than pretty much terrifying and stressful, it was.
It was not that bad.
Hey, you went out of your comfort zone, and now you know how it is to present in front of
A body of government.
a body of
Yeah.
government and advocate for something that you really believe in.
All part of Girl Scout learning.
All part of
Yes.
Girl Scout learning. It's all part of learning,
Yeah.
but it's harder to do without like the help of an organization like the Girl Scouts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like no one's really gonna. And also, Girl Scouts helps with the factor of, like, they kind of in a way know like that you're doing this for a purpose. You're not just doing it to mess with them.
Yeah.
Because like no,
Yeah,
I
what a
know,
ho- no,
I know kids in my grade that will go up in front of them and make up this whole speech just for like a joke.
Oh, yeah.
I know kids who would do that in my grade. So
We won't talk about them.
I know. I'm just throwing it
I
out
know,
there.
I get it.
Girl
So
Scouts
that
helps
was
them know-
successful.
Girl Scouts helps them know that we
You-
like we're
Right.
legit. we know
You
what we're
did
doing.
get the town approval, so you got the town to buy in.
Mm-hmm.
So you were able to advocate for your goal to pretty much a higher authority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you decide, other than the fact that my mother made me, how did you decide to partner, or why did you decide to reach out to the Parks and Rec department?
Would you like to do this one, or should I do this one?
I can try.
All right.
I'll attempt. The Parks and Recreation Department, they are in charge of many events and successful events. So we were thinking of, oh, hey, why can't the rec department help us? And plus, they were also already thinking of doing this event, and we're just like kind of supporting them with this idea.
We just needed to give them a little push.
You guys didn't know
Yeah.
that was on their to-do list.
Yeah, we
So that was just like a happy accident.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were just kind of like, oh, cool. Well, now you're doing it.
We'll help, and then you can take it over.
We'll get it started for you.
Exactly. You're gonna move it to the top of their list instead of like number 27. So, but exactly, your point is that they've already done it. So why start from scratch?
Yeah, like they already have a bunch of contacts. They've already done this stuff before. They know who we have to reach out to. They know what like waivers and stuff we have to get signed. They know who we have to talk to get permission to use the common or use Simon's Park or get like tables or be allowed to serve food and what time.
Yeah, the whole Board of Health
open.
thing.
Yeah,
and-
they know all of that and they know what they're doing. So we're like, okay, cool.
They're
I
one of
know.
our main like sources for help. So
Absolutely. You are using your resources wisely, which is part of the
Yes.
Girl Scout promise. No, that's part of the law. Yeah, I should know this. Okay, so we already talked about we talked about
It is in promise. It's in the promise, not the law.
okay.
I just said it all in my head.
Okay.
It's in the law.
So
Or not in the
I'm
law,
looking
in
at
the
my
promise.
notes and I'm kind of going out of order here. And it says, the
That's
question
fine.
was, what do you
Sure.
hope you'll get out of hosting a multicultural festival? Well, we talked about the goal of the event within the community. But what do the two of you personally want to get out of a multicultural festival?
for me, it's like more confidence in my culture and where I'm from.
I feel like for me, it's like she said, like more confidence, but for me, not necessarily the culture part, but more like confidence in the, hey, I planned a whole town-wide event.
I planned an entire event.
No,
on
we
that
planned a
conference.
whole.
Wait, yeah,
It's like, we did this whole event. We can do anything.
exactly. And I'm going to remind you of that when it comes time. No.
We can do anything we put our minds to.
So, are there anything specific that you want to learn about another culture?
Probably their way of being human because it's
That's
different.
one way
in
to
ev-
put it. Their way of being human.
No, I get.
I know,
What
but
you're
it's
saying.
just
Because
an interesting way to put it.
everyone in different cultures probably have a simpler life than what their stereotypes give us. So I think it will be really cool to learn about that.
Okay.
I feel like for me, the culture I most want to learn about is the like Pakistani culture because one of my very close friends, she is Pakistani, and I go to a lot of like their events and stuff. And most of the time, I am confused out of my mind because I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on.
So I just follow my friend around the whole time, and she's like shouting
Don't
these words.
leave me.
She's like shouting these words that are gibberish to me because they're not in a language I understand. I'm
Right.
working on learning it. So they're like in a language I don't understand, and like the type of food they make, it's like different than like the food we have, and like apparently their weddings are 2 years long. So
That makes
Oh
sense.
my
That makes
goodness!
sense.
Don't even think about that.
no, I'm just saying apparently because they have like parties and they have like 20 different engagement parties,
Wow.
and I'm like, huh? So which party is
Why?
this? And then I'm like, what is this like, the equivalent in an American? She's like, oh well, it doesn't really have a name. So we're just like,
Okay.
all right, cool.
All
And like also in their culture, I know there's like a lot of like dances, but like there's specific dances for specific events,
Oh,
like
okay.
stuff like that. And yeah,
Yeah, sorry, girl. Your background, your
I know too much about
ethnic
it.
background just doesn't lend itself into doing
My ethnic background is confusing.
so.
Your father's been here for 10 generations,
Yes.
so you're a million things and I'm a million things.
Yeah. So.
I'm not one culture, I'm a million.
Okay. How are you discovering different organizations or different representatives from these different cultures to reach out to?
I mean, generally we kind of know them because some of them come to celebrate Burlington, or like the Indian Americans Association. They come to the Diwali thing. They kind of coordinate that. So we kind of learn. We just kind of just like get that information,
Okay.
and then in my case, some of my friends and family they are members of like a few cultural organizations. So I just kind of like get contacts from there too.
Okay. And you've reached out to like some of your teachers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we have a few different, like we definitely have diverse teachers in the school. And we definitely have like, I know there's at least, they have like different cultural groups like in the school.
Oh, okay.
So we reach out to like the teachers that are from different cultures, the world language teachers, because they obviously know a lot about that culture because they're like teaching
They
their
teach it,
language.
yeah.
So we reach out to them, and then we reached out to like there's the Asian American Pacific Islander group at our school, and then there's also a multicultural group at the high school. So we reached out to both of those, like, I guess you could call them leaders, kind
Yeah,
of.
the advisors.
teachers.
Yeah. And like, because we know they have different cultures.
And you're like, Mom, Dad, who do you know? So I know
Yeah.
you've been doing a lot of that, and
Well, and then I also bothered in because she goes like everywhere with a bunch of different things.
yes.
So I'm just kind of like, ooh, this place has stuff. This place has stuff.
Okay,
This place
we
has
could go
stuff.
there.
Apparently
And
there's
there are a lot
whole
of different
plaza by-
restaurants in town too.
Apparently there's a whole plaza by the high school that's like all Pakistani and Indian stuff.
Yes.
That I didn't know until I went there with her.
Oh, you went there with her? Oh,
Yeah.
things that I never knew.
Let my daughter just wander the streets of Burlington. Okay.
I did that once before. It only took me
Wait,
an
what?
hour.
Now we mentioned having different, or you have having different cultures represented at tables or stations.
Yes.
What are some of the suggestions that you are telling prospective cultural representatives? What are the things that they can do?
Well, you want to do this? Or do you want me to
I
do
don't
this?
know.
All right, I'll do it then.
Okay.
You can start and she can fill in with stuff that you're
So basically
missing.
what we're hoping they'll do is they can set up like a little booth with like maybe like a holiday that's very widely celebrated in their culture, like a tradition that their culture has that other people might think is like weird or confusing, like how different events run in their culture. And if they want, they can do like a demonstration of like a traditional dance or something, or
Traditional costumes.
yeah, traditional costumes, or like if they get the Board of Health thing and we have the food waiver and all that annoying stuff.
If they get permission.
Yeah, they can share like a meal from their culture that's like very special to them in their culture, like that they'll do on New Year's or something. I don't know.
Ooh, yeah, that might be kind of fun. Well, there are also so many restaurants in town that are of,
Yeah.
different ethnic and cultural backgrounds, so they probably already have the food serving
Yeah.
permissions. So, but we can reach out to them. I know our plans changed because we were supposed to do this in like 2 weeks, and we have to redirect because that's another thing that I think is very valuable in a project to this scale is in life, things don't always work out exactly the way you plan.
Although hopefully next time we'll have a little bit more warning
Well, yeah, that's
than
true.
like 3 minutes.
Well, okay,
before we
presenting
have
it
to
in
go
front
up
of the select board is different than, okay, this project is not working. Plot twist. So what are we going to do? So, okay, you've been working with Kelly Lehman from the Parks and Recreation Department.
Yep.
And together, the three of you did some brainstorming about, okay, how can we change what we were going to do to hopefully make it a little more manageable?
yeah.
Because like you had said earlier, I planned an event on the common. I mean, that's huge.
No, I said we planned an entire town-wide event.
Town-wide event.
I
okay.
didn't say on the common.
Okay,
I said
but you
town-wide
planned,
event.
you know,
Don't be quoting me.
when I was in 8th grade, I couldn't even raise my hand and like say something in class. And you guys are planning a town-wide event. So it is a massive undertaking. So working with Kelly at the rec center is kind of helping to focus it into a more manageable chunk. But
Yeah.
still get your goals and your ideas and your ideals and your vision to work. So I know we haven't finalized anything, but how are you now envisioning what this event might look like? Have you given it any thought?
Not really, actually, to be honest.
Okay. You look like you were about to say something, or no?
I mean, I feel like it will be like relatively crowded with people like wandering around, looking at other cultures and all that. And it's probably going to be a fun time.
Oh, I can't wait.
I also feel like I just thought of this now.
Okay.
As she was
And we
speaking.
will not hold you to anything that you say.
As she was speaking, I know Kelly was mentioning on how, like, hopefully, when we do this event, the summer clubs will be in session, and sometimes they have like those nights and stuff on Simon's
Yeah.
Park. So hopefully they can like advertise it in their summer clubs, and I don't know how Simon's summer club works, but they could be like, oh, you get like extra time doing something, or you get an extra ice cream or something like that if you come to this event. I don't know. Something
Yeah,
like
that would be a fun batch.
I don't know.
A
How,
Girl Scout swap.
I don't know how the Simon's Park stuff works. Either.
Okay.
I've never been to one of their camps.
No, that's
so
true.
I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know if they have like stickers or something as rewards. I don't know. It's what we use at the
We
daycare.
could
They
always
love it.
provide stickers. Well, I know that we've been talking about it, but hopefully Meghna's been brought into the loop. One of the things I would love to see at the end is we were talking about getting a world map
Yeah.
Yeah.
and having everybody that comes to the event, the tables themselves and the cultures that are represented, as well as the general community, come and put a sticker or a flag or some marker on this world map.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what that map's going to look like.
It's gonna look quite insane. I have a feeling most of the little kids that are at least
Well-
like if they don't know their like ethnic
We will
background,
have
they'll
to
just go,
have
like,
kind of a control so, you know,
parents only.
everybody isn't like in the middle of the Pacific Ocean or something.
Yeah, obviously. From the lost city of Atlantis.
Who knows?
I don't know.
You know, it could happen.
I don't think we're gonna get anybody from the lost city of
We
Atlantis.
started planning it, right? Yeah.
The
we drew
culture
it
map?
out with
Yeah,
the map.
we drew out the map.
Yeah.
The other day when we went to the Boy Scout meeting, we got bored and we drew out the map.
Of the lost city of Atlantis.
No, not of the lost.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Of the what we're gonna put around the map and how we're gonna lay it out.
Oh,
Because
cool.
we were gonna do it like a globe, and then we realized that we're gonna have to
that's
make
not
it
gonna
flat because then we're gonna have to. Yeah,
Wonder if we could get a globe.
that would be insane. Then
That-
again, you are insane.
Yes, I
so-
am. Well, I'm also thinking that the Girl Scouts a couple of years ago did a parade float in the 4th of July parade.
Oh yeah, didn't they have like a
And
giant globe?
we have a 4-foot diameter giant globe beach ball.
Somewhere.
Oh, I know exactly where it is.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's in the garage. No.
Of course it's in the garage.
No, it's not. It's
Everything's
not.
in the
I know exactly. Yeah,
garage.
everything's in the garage except for the car. No, I actually know exactly where it is, and it's actually accessible.
Wow.
I know. And I'm going to let you blow it up because it's huge.
Just hook it up to the hose and make it a water balloon.
We can pass it around during like the culture night. Just
Pump it up with a
Roll it down the
roll it. Yeah.
Roll it down the hill. Roll it down Simon's Hill. Hey, put your sticker on this.
Yeah, but the stickers might fall off if you did that.
Watch out.
use a baseball bat.
No, that would pop it. That would not be good. All right, maybe we will stick with a flat map that you can't roll down very
Aw, why not?
And then we could like check with the library and see if we could put it in the library or
Oh,
town
that would be
hall
fun.
or the high school or
That would be fun.
Yeah.
We
that
didn't
would
get
be
that far yet.
cool. Yeah, I know. I'm just, we're
Sorry,
just
we just had to like
brainstorming
pivot our
here.
whole event like 2 days ago. So
Yeah, I know you had to pivot. Well,
We're
we
trying to
just had to
figure this
change
out.
the date.
the date
But I
and
think-
the location and the concept.
Well, we may or may not have to change the location. That's what we need to talk.
okay.
But we're definitely going to change the date. So the date has not yet
The
been
date
identified.
is TBD, to be determined.
But if somebody wanted more information before we know the date, we can't print flyers because we already printed flyers with the wrong date.
Yeah.
Where would somebody go or what would somebody do to find out more information?
Go to our email.
Which is
BurlingtonCultureFest@gmail.com. All lowercase and one word.
well, actually, it is all one word, but I think you actually,
Oh.
it's not case specific. Passwords are case specific, but
See, it's
Burlington
on the
Culture
screen.
Fest.
On
Oh,
the
yeah.
screen, on the
So
monitor.
that will work.
This.
And
we will
people
respond
can.
to you.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
doing the little line.
I see.
Okay.
I'm pointing to it. Oh, now it's gone.
It's
Dang
gone. It's gone. No, it's still there. It's just you can't see it.
it. Yes, I know. It's gone from my site.
It's
All
coming
right.
from both of our sites.
Yes, exactly. Well, I can
If
kind of see it.
I know this is probably not able to be answered right now because we are still right in the middle of planning.
Yes.
But if you had to start all over again,
No.
would you have? Well, no, I'm just saying. Would you have?
No.
Do you think you've done anything differently?
Not print out the flyers
Well, yeah,
until we
not
have
print
enough
it.
vendors.
That's true. But we thought we had to squish it in a 6-week window.
Yeah, I would
and-
definitely reach out earlier
Yeah.
and start this project earlier. Like, I know, of course, it takes 10 flipping days for the Girl Scouts to get back to us if our project's allowed or not. So,
They just want to make sure that it meets all the different
so
criteria.
I would definitely start planning this earlier, so that way we can
Okay.
send out our response earlier, get the send out our application earlier, get the response back
Yeah.
sooner, and then actually start planning. So we don't have to do it in 6 weeks.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I feel like sending out invites in 6 weeks, everyone's like, oh, sorry,
I'm
too much
busy.
of a
Yeah.
time crunch. I already planned the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because we did get a lot of, I'd love to do it, but I'm out of town.
Like, I know we reached out to one of the Boy Scout troops, and they're like, oh, yeah, we've got this person and this person, this person, this person, this person. They can all do it, but we planned it for the same exact week that they're going to be away at summer camp.
Yeah, that's kind of a challenge.
Yeah.
So, hopefully they'll be able to do it on a different, well, they're going to be back from summer camp, so
Yeah.
hopefully they'll be around. What would we talked earlier about being a role model for younger Girl Scouts. Would you or do you have any advice for younger girls about whether or not it's worth going for either their bronze or their silver?
I feel like it definitely is worth going for.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't get it, you learn a lot of stuff along the way. Like, you learn how to manage things, you learn how to plan big projects, you learn how to plan events. Like, I know you have to do like a bunch of journeys beforehand, so you learn stuff in those journeys, and then you can apply it to your bronze award. And it's like, it's a huge feeling of like accomplishment when you're like, I won an award. Like, I did
You didn't
this.
win it, you earned it.
Yeah, it's like, I
Yeah.
got this award, I did it. It's like a little sense of accomplishment.
It's a pretty big, it's a little pin, but I think it's a really big sense of accomplishment. I'm glad you're seeing that too, because,
You're my mother, you think
And,
everything I
well,
do is an accomplishment.
you know,
I don't have any water left.
I think part of what you had just said was even if you don't get your award, you will have earned your award because you have done
I mean, not if
those-
you don't earn the award. I mean, like, if you don't get the project done.
right.
Like, I know you were talking to me the other day about how, like, even if we don't get this Culture Fest plan, we'll still earn the award.
Right. Because like some girls, for earning their silver or, bronze, silver, or gold, they might try to introduce legislation and like have a law introduced. And that's really hard to do as well. So it's like, okay, you've done all this work, you've presented in front of the select board or in front of town government or state government, and it's just not going to happen. That
Yeah.
does not mean that you failed. It just means now might not be the right time for that. So, in my personal little corner of the world, I think that you will have success in this Culture Fest. It might not look like what you've envisioned. It might not look like what you have envisioned. It might not look like what I've envisioned, but it will happen. And I think that however it looks, you will have gained knowledge. You will have gained confidence. You will have learned more about your community. You now know how local government works. I mean, you saw it firsthand. You made
Yeah.
a difference. So, that is something to be proud of as well. So, backing up a little bit, I just asked you, what about going for your silver award? What would you have to say about, is Girl Scouts worth it? All you do are arts and crafts and sell cookies.
Girl Scouts is definitely worth it if you have the chance to join it, because I feel like, yes, on the outside, everyone just stereotypes it as just doing crafts and arts and painting all day and just selling cookies in the winter. Like,
I
that's
wish
what
it wasn't in the winter, but yeah.
that's what everybody like stereotypes it as, and I feel like it's so much more than that. Like, it helps develop like your character and stuff, and it helps you gain skills that like you wouldn't gain anywhere else. Like, I don't think if I wasn't in Girl Scouts, like if I never did Girl Scouts, I don't think I would be able to like go up in front of huge bodies of people and
Yeah.
speak in front of them.
Yeah. And defend your,
Yeah.
to advocate for something. I mean, that's really hard to do. Yeah. And it looks great on job applications, college applications.
And I feel like a lot of stuff, like I have a bunch of my badges. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like a lot of this stuff, like I wouldn't be able to do like in real life. Well, this is real life. I wouldn't be able to do if I didn't do Girl Scouts kind of thing.
You kind of get to like step out of your comfort zone almost, and Girl Scouts encourages your personality to grow, to be shown, to be like reflected in the light.
I love you guys. Okay. We are running a little short on time. Yeah,
Eight
there's like
minutes
8
left.
minutes
We're
left.
fine. That's
So
not
we are
short on
fine,
time.
but I have just a couple more questions. Assuming that, I know this is a big assumption, but assuming that Silver Award is an overwhelming success, do you think you're going to want to try for your gold within the next 4 years?
You want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
She already just nodded.
Oh,
She
I'll
kind of
cross
gave it
that
away.
bridge when I come to it. I want to, but I'll see where I am in the future. Because who knows how high school's gonna go? So I'll
That's
see
true.
where I am when I get there.
I might
We'll
do
cross
my
that bridge
vote.
when we come to it.
Because I'm just thinking now, I mean, cultural diversity is a huge issue right now in today's society.
Keep
But
falling out.
there are a lot of other issues that need attention. And I'm just wondering, are there other world problems that you would like to see yourself solve either as a gold award or after you graduate from high school? Have you given that any thought? No.
Cross that bridge when I come to it.
Yes.
That's just all I'm saying.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts?
Maybe like society norms, probably, because some people are pressured into like doing things by society, and it probably needs to be changed because no one can like live out their life, their one life. So.
Oh my gosh, I love you for that. Well, no, I'm just, when you mentioned that, I'm just thinking about when I was in college. It's like, okay, you graduate from college when you're 22. By the time you're 25, you need to be married. And by the time you're 28, you need to have a child. And it's like, well, wait a minute, what if I don't want that? Or what if I can't have that? Does that make me feel like I'm not important? Is that kind of what you're thinking of?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
I feel like I would do
That's very
something
noble.
somewhat similar to that. I feel
Okay.
like if I were to do something, I would do something somewhat similar to that.
Okay.
I don't really know. I'll figure that out when I get there.
Well, yeah, I know you're going to cross that bridge when you come to it, but at least you know
me.
that there's a
You've known
bridge
me.
there.
You've known me for 14 years. You know,
Yeah,
I
I've-
just
I
wing
think it's safe to
things.
say I've known you pretty much all your life.
I just wing things and figure it out.
Well,
Figure it out as I go.
Well, I think that's another thing that we've touched upon today about being in Girl Scouts is I think it raises your awareness to there is life outside of Marshall Simons Middle School. There are things to do and other opportunities outside the borders of Burlington. And I think when I was growing up, not to sound like when I was your age, but I think when I was growing up, I just wasn't aware of that. So I think it's really important for adults to see what you are thinking. That even though you are only 14, you still have amazing ideas. You still have the thoughts, the knowledge, even some experiences that you can bring value to our community. And I'm getting on my soapbox again, and I really need to stop doing that. So
You do that a lot.
I do that a lot because I am very passionate about the scouting program, both Girl Scouts as well as Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, because the schools, public schools, have so much that the teachers need to do that they can't teach you everything. So programs like scouting picks up where the schools have to leave off. Like, I happen to know one of your badges, even though I can't see it, is woodworking. So,
Oh, that one.
yeah, that one with the saw on it. Yeah, I mean,
And the hammer.
you guys
And the
had the
piece of wood.
chance to use tools.
Power tools.
Power tools. Do we use power tools?
I don't know. I did when I built the dog ramp. Although that was
Well,
for
that was Boy Scouts. But scouting, it's still the same thing. You get to learn how to build things, learn how to fix things.
Power tool.
Money management is one of those others.
Babysitting.
Babysitting.
Painting, robotics, money management, writing, sports.
No, actually,
comics.
that's not writing. That's
Oh, that's
actually
history.
democracy.
Oh.
So learning how government works. And you probably don't remember because it was back in the beginning of 6th grade when we were sitting outside of one of the schools, freezing and trying not to blow away in Arctic winds. We were actually talking
did
about
that
the
a
election.
lot.
We're talking about the election and the importance of playing a role and exercising your right to vote.
I was too focused on not freezing to death.
Well, I know
Same.
everybody was, but the point is that you can make a difference with just one voice. And if you can get others to support that one voice, you can change the world. Okay, so we still have about 2 minutes left. Is there anything that either of you want to add about either your project or scouting in general, or anything that you want to add before we leave? Other than come to the festival.
No.
No.
Nothing other than that. Please come and be a vendor. We need vendors.
Please come.
We need
Please come.
vendors.
Yeah.
We need cultures.
We beg you.
Yeah, we internally are calling them vendors, but they're actually like
We need
Cultures.
representation.
need representation. Where are those 50 different languages coming from?
Yes.
What
People
are
who
those?
watch the show. We had our email up earlier.
Yep.
So you know what it is.
Burlington Culture Fest at gmail.com.
Yes.
Right.
Reach out. See? Reach
Yeah,
out.
see?
Please reach out. Even if you know of other groups that could do it, please just email.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm trying
So-
to get the word out.
Yes, get the word out. We will be putting up flyers, or you will be putting up flyers.
You get to drive us
And
around.
as Mr. Priest mentioned at the select board meeting, hopefully we will have some kind of representation for the 4th of July parade. Maybe.
90% chance we will.
Well, as long as you guys are around.
I probably will be. I think
Yeah,
we
you
will.
will be.
Probably.
I'm always around.
But Meghna might be,
'Cause you always do a float.
having an amazing vacation somewhere.
Because you always
Awesome.
you always do a float. So.
I do. For this show.
Yes. It is
So,
very
anyway,
show.
so we will
with
be
the
here.
bubbles.
And
And
okay.
that's funny.
All right, wrapping it up, I do want to thank both of you, not only for appearing tonight, but being ambitious enough to want to make that change. So I'm really excited, even though it seems like I've kind of been poking you to do your silver award. I'm really glad that you are doing it and you are making that positive change, both for our society as well as the personal growth that you're already finding. And I want to thank everyone at home for tuning in this evening. I hope you will be as enthusiastic and excited about our Culture Fest, and I will also hope to see you at that Culture Fest. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you around town. Good night.